Hello, welcome to another episode of Cutter One. I am your host, Jay, just Jay. And that's just me. And I'm glad that you decided to join me again. All right, so I wanted to touch on this article. You ever have one of those days where you see a story and you're just like, what the actual crap? What are people like? Okay, this is a priority. Let's look at this article here. Let's see. Let me scoot it over here so you can read it. Okay, it says this is coming out of Variety, and this is as of today, dated today, October 19th. Kerry Washington, Zoe Kravitz, Rosario Dawson, SAG-AFTRA, and more urge Congress to pass Crown Act. Okay, so you're probably wondering what the Crown Act is, right? So let's look into this. Kerry Washington, Zoe Kravitz, Rosario Dawson, Don Cheadle, and Niecy Nash Betts were among the 160,000 SAG-AFTRA members who urged Congress to pass the Crown Act, which prohibits discrimination based on hairstyle and texture. So, just to put this in perspective, with everything going on in the world, we've got the potential for World War III with what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, and China is starting to rattle their swords, and North Korea being North Korea. With all of that, with the economy in the complete and utter state of chaos that it's in, inflation going through the roof, people having to like lose their jobs because they can't get to work because they can't afford to put gas in their car. What are we urging Congress to work on immediately? Hair discrimination. That's right, hair discrimination. In a strongly worded letter sent to the U.S. Senate, SAG-AFTRA encouraged Congress to pass the bill as it is an essential step to making all workplaces safe for people of color because apparently white people don't have hair. But I digress. And it is consistent with the Guild's efforts to advance equity and inclusion in the media and entertainment industry. The Crown Act stands for creating a respectful and open world for natural hair. Quote, the Crown Act is a huge step in ending discrimination based on hair in public education and workspaces, said SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher. Okay, so we're going to take life advice from the nanny. People should feel free to style their hair how they feel most comfortable without the threat of prejudice and unequal treatment. The Crown Act will protect and positively impact the lives of many Americans at school and work, but there is still more work to be done to ensure private institutions adopt the protections the Crown Act provides. We should celebrate all hairstyles, not discriminate. Members asserted in the letter that discrimination based on hairstyle or texture is a destructive practice that has alienated and caused irreparable harm to black Americans. The Actors Union has been working towards achieving hair and makeup equity in workplace. The statement of support was recommended by the SAG-AFTRA Hair and Makeup Equity Work Group. That's a thing? Hair and Makeup Equity Work Group, chaired by Jason George, Yvette Nicole Brown, Tiffany Yvonne Cox, Michelle Hurd, Ezra Knight, Linda Powell, and Cheryl Lee Ralph. When you work in an industry where you can be hired or not hired, largely on how you look, you become acutely aware of how damaging it can be to discriminate against someone based on something as extraneous as how they wear their hair, said George. We've made strides in our own industry, but we have our union backing us up, and not everyone has that. Until our nation's leaders say, in no uncertain terms, that it is not acceptable to discriminate against someone based on their hair, private employers and institutions will continue to skirt the issue with ease. The Crown Act sets a new standard of equity that makes it harder to justify harmful and outdated practices. Seriously, okay. This is the stupidest goddamn thing I've heard in a long time. Okay? This is what we're worried about. You have half of America out there worrying about how they're going to pay their bills this month. And we have Hollywood urging Congress to put all of its other business aside so it can pass the Crown Act, which what makes it a crime to not hire someone based on their hair. Okay, an example. According to this, you know, what would you do if, let's say, you have a very, you know, high class restaurant, okay, and some guy comes in and he's got the huge like 1980s type of like spike mohawk, and it's purple and stuff like that, and you run a very high class, very, black tie sort of restaurant and stuff, and this guy wants a job as a waiter, right? um are you saying that you now can't tell him no because he doesn't, because of his hair? Because it seems to me that that would run counter to exactly what you're trying to do. If you run this high class establishment, it's a black tie establishment, people having to dress up, you know, um, and now you're like, well, you have to hire this kid with the purple spike mohawk because you can't discriminate against him because of his hair. That doesn't make any sense, particularly coming from Hollywood, because Hollywood hires people based on how they look. And if you try to say, "Oh no, they don't do that," you Hollywood is all about looks. So what you're saying is the same industry that says, "No, no, no, we won't hire you because you look like the average American. We only want to hire the pretty Americans because that's what makes more money." That industry is telling us, "Well, you can't discriminate against somebody because of their hair." That's fucking stupid. That is just really fucking stupid. Senator Cory Booker, who I've met actually, nah, I'll keep my opinion of him to myself. Senator Cory Booker first introduced the Crown Act in the House, which passed the bill in March with a 235 to 189 vote. The Crown Act is awaiting passage in the Senate and then heads to President Joe Biden's desk. Really, people, like, this is what where we're at with everything going on in the world. We're supposed to worry about hair discrimination. I don't know. I don't know. I got nothing, guys. I just wanted to share that one because it just shows how off the mark, um, Hollywood and a lot of these people are getting. That they would think that that's a major thing that Congress needs to get right on. Anyway, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Hit the like button. Share the video. Don't forget to subscribe because it helps the channel. And I'm hoping to build something here. So anyway, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.